That night, the navigation system suddenly changed the route and led us to an old parking area with no cars at all. And just a few minutes later, we saw lights inside an abandoned building. At first, I thought it was just a system glitch. It happens sometimes on the road, especially at night when the signal gets unstable. But a few minutes later, I realized it wasn't just a mistake. My name is Ostap. I've been working the International Przemysl Paris route for many years, and during that time, I learned to trust the road more than electronics. But that night, even the road felt strange. There were 15 passengers in the van. Most of them were already asleep. Some were leaning against the windows. Some were listening to music. We were driving through nighttime Germany when it all began. At first, the navigation simply froze. Then the screen flickered, and the route changed. I stared at the display. The new route led away from the highway, onto a small, local road. I muttered to myself, this can't be right. I tried to reset the route, but the system kept pulling us in the same direction, as if someone else was controlling the navigation. I decided not to risk it and followed the new route. At first, the road was fine, but the deeper we went, the worse it got. Empty fields, dark trees, no cars, not even oncoming traffic. That alone felt wrong. After about 20 minutes, we left the main road completely, and that's when I saw it, a parking area, old, abandoned, no lights, no vehicles, just a deserted space near the forest. I stopped the van. The passengers woke up. "What's going on?" someone asked from the back. "Technical stop," I replied, even though I wasn't sure myself. I was the first to step out. The air felt strange, too quiet, as if even the night sounded different here. The parking lot was completely empty, no lights, only an old building nearby, something like an abandoned service station. Dark windows, half-open doors. I was about to return to the van when I saw a light. At first faint, then stronger, inside that building. I froze. "Someone is in there," I whispered to myself. The light was moving, like someone walking inside. But the building looked abandoned for years. I felt an uncomfortable pressure in my chest. I returned to the van. "We're leaving right now," I told the passengers. But at that exact moment, one of the men said, "There's someone standing at the door." I turned sharply, and I saw it, a figure, motionless, dark, standing in the doorway of the building, watching us. I couldn't see a face, but I could feel it was looking directly at the van. Some passengers started asking nervously, "What is this place? Why are we here?" I quickly got back behind the wheel, but when I turned the key, nothing happened. Again, silence. "It won't start," I said quietly. The van went completely silent. Even the passengers who were asleep woke up, and at that moment, the lights inside the building suddenly went out. Total darkness. A few seconds later, back on. But now there were more silhouettes in the windows. Not one, several. I felt a chill run down my spine. "Stay calm," I said louder than I intended. "It's just an old station. We'll sort it out." I tried starting the engine again. This time it worked. The engine roared back to life. I turned the wheel sharply and drove away from the parking area. Nobody spoke inside the van, even after we returned to the main road. A few minutes later, someone quietly said, "Did you see how many people were in the windows?" I didn't answer, because I wasn't sure I wanted to know. We drove for about an hour, and the navigation was normal again, as if nothing had happened. But the worst part wasn't that. The worst part was that, at the next gas station, I checked the rear camera footage, and on the recording, there was no building, only an empty forest and road, as if that parking area had never existed at all. And from that moment, I understood one thing. Sometimes the road shows you places that are not on any map, but you still end up there anyway.